Hey folks, welcome back to SC Haulers. I'm Sax Hawaiian, and today we're getting into the Recco Battaglia missions in Star Citizen 4.9 PTU. Now, prefacing this entire video with this statement right here, please don't forget it. This is PTU, this is 4.9 PTU. Things can change. I just want to get you guys a look at what these missions have. And so we're going to start with reputation. Recco Battaglia has her own reputation that you can see. It has 5 different ranks that you can have, ending in senior mechanic, starting with neutral, and then you have apprentice, junior mechanic, technician, senior mechanic. That aside, if we want to take a look at the contracts, now you're supposed to go talk to Recco Battaglia, but currently as it stands, you find these missions in the priority contract section. I think eventually these missions are going to transfer over to Recco, but we will see what happens. Once you start out these missions, you're going to have 3 different contracts that you can accept. 2 of them are going to be mining related. One is going to be for scanning asteroids. Another one is going to be for mining asteroids. And the third one is the one that we're doing currently, which is a ship in distress. You have to go find the ship, kill all the enemies aboard, and essentially save the crew. That is... It's almost like a copy-paste of the 890 jump mission that you'll find in Stan around Microtech and ArcCorp. And so I wanted to take a look at this and see what it had for us. This is a Drake Caterpillar, so it's a new ship. We're not doing an 890 jump, which I thought was interesting. The other thing about this, too, is it's a mining crew, but when we pull up to the Caterpillar, it's actually... The assaulting team's ship is a Cutlass Black, and we're pulling up to a Caterpillar that was out doing mining of some sort. I'm not entirely sure what the story behind that is. Now, once you're ready to go into the ship, this ship will appear as hostile, so you're not going to be able to do a whole lot with it, but you do have access to all the doors and stuff. If you're using a parallax, make sure that you are actually inside the ship, because the shields of the ship will mess up your rounds. And that was the mistake I was making here. So I've always approached these missions from the front of the ship, from the very, very front. And the reason for that, I've done a couple of these missions. There's certain places that these guys will spawn on the ship. It's always within the cargo modules themselves. They never spawn up on the railing from what I've seen so far. And so it's always going to be in the cargo modules or somewhere else on the ship. You'll never see them up on the catwalks on the side from what I've been able to see so far. And you just go through the ship and you destroy all the enemies. Once you get down to like the last 10%, it'll actually give you mission markers for where the last enemy is at, which is nice, something that bunker missions needed for a long time. And you'll see that it actually works. The next part of the mission is to repair the power plant, and one of the cool things is they actually provide you a multi-tool and the ammo to actually repair it. So that way, if you're like me, where you have 2 multi-tools and no attachment for it, you can actually just pick it up off the ground off this guy that was unceremoniously murdered next to the power plant. Once you have your life figured out, like I do in this scenario, all you have to do is just repair the power plant to full, and it's at like 85%, so it won't take very much at all. And then the next objective is to get clear of the ship. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, hey, I saw cargo, can we take that cargo? So I tested it. And one of the funny things about this was CIG tried to block us from getting to the command module, but you can just clip through this cabinet right now. I'm sure they'll make it physicalized later. But you could also go through the side door if it's not available. When I did this on my live stream on Friday, I could not go through that filing cabinet to the command module. But we're going to unlock ports. You can see that ship ports are unlocked. And we're going to go look at the cargo that's on the grid and see if we can take it. That's so funny that CIG isn't... It's the weirdest thing that they're intentionally blocking us, considering what's going to happen with this cargo. And the thing that's going to happen with the cargo is it's dummy cargo. It's not real cargo, so you can't take it. Even if the ship ports are unlocked, like this is just here, and you can see the tractor beams working. But this is just here as dummy cargo. You can't actually, there's nothing you can do with it. It's the funniest thing. But that is that mission. We get clear of the ship. You have to be about 150 kilometers away, and then the mission will complete and you can go on to the next one. This particular mission, while I've had issues actually getting it while I'm at Levski, anytime I've gone outside of Levski or outside of that DGS server, I've been able to find it, and this thing has worked flawlessly every single time. It gives you a good chunk of reputation in the neutral category, so you should be able to complete about 3 of those, and you'll be up to the next rank of Battaglia reputation. Now, the next one, I'm in the mole specifically because I want to show you the mining mission. And the mining mission, there's 2 of them. One is to scan the rocks. The other one is to mine the rocks. Now, every single time, and somebody mentioned this in my live stream as well, but every single time I've accepted these missions, it's always been iron. They always want you to go after iron, which is interesting because iron tends to be quite dense, which means the rocks are quite large. And starter ships like the Golem, or maybe not starter, but the Prospector, are going to struggle with some of the larger rocks unless you have the right loadout. And even then, a lot of these rocks are pushing like 30, 40, 50K in size because it's iron. And the Golem and the Prospector will struggle. Well, 1, they won't be able to do those, but 2, they will struggle with the higher end rocks even then. Now, I wanted to show you these missions in the mole for a very specific reason. I've been able to complete this before, but I'm not in the mole, oddly enough. And so we go over to the iron rock. We scan it through the pilot seat. And I've also done this in the, I've not scanned the rock at all from the pilot seat, and I've done it from the laser head. And it just does not update the mission at all. So the mole is not working for these particular sets of missions, but I'm going to go back to main menu. I'm going to get my Golem and fly back out to my mole. And then we're going to accept this mission again while we're in the Golem and then do the same thing. So we're back with the Golem. We're going to scan these rocks here. And after we scan the rocks, you'll notice that the mission actually updates. So we're going to go to this smaller one. And already, we didn't even scan it yet, and it's already given us mission markers to mine the rock that is here. And so we're going to go ahead and mine it. Once you finish mining it, another interesting thing happens with this mission, which is every single secondary break that you have is going to update the mission and say you need to mine that particular section, and you can see all the mission markers that just popped up. Fortunately, with this rock, every secondary one was already extractable, so all we had to do was extract it, and that was pretty nice. So you can see here with our last extractable rock, we suck it all up. As soon as we finish sucking up the last part of that rock, that is 1 full asteroid, and the mission is complete. So we don't have to mine anything else. I know when we arrived, it gave us mission markers for both asteroids that were in the area, but you only have to do that 1 asteroid, which is really, really nice. Elliot and his team have done a really good job getting this implemented, and I'm super excited to see this actually in place with like ship mining missions, ground mining missions, and stuff like that. My only complaint, and there's 2 of them here, is 1, the scanning missions don't work properly, so you scan the rocks and just nothing happens. The mission doesn't update, so that needs to be fixed. And the second thing is it says go to a location for iron. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be a generic, like go to the Glacium Ring and find iron, or the Keeger Belt, or whatever the case may be, but or if it's going to be something where it finds a cluster for you and tells you to go to that location. But currently, as it stands, it just says location. So you have to go find your own iron rocks. Now, that mission gave me apprentice rank, so we're going to take a look at some of these other ones. I want to go check out this Moraine data retrieval. It says we need to go to an asteroid base and find server data. So I'm going to assume this is kind of like the QV breaker station. Not the breaker station, I'm sorry. The tech smuggler mission where you have to go find a card and then put data on the card and stuff like that. So when I arrived at this station, it looked like it was going to be like a QV breaker station, but actually it looks like it's a people service station. So a decommissioned people service station is what this is. There are no hangars for you, but you do get a little icon that says entrance, which is nice, and hopefully they add that same thing to other missions as well. I'm thinking of the tech smugglers mission again, where it says entrance and gives you a marker. Well, maybe tech smugglers isn't the best one because they do have hangars there, and the hangars will give you a marker. Maybe bunker missions though, like add an entrance to bunker missions so you can find where the entrance of the bunker is. That would be super helpful for new players, but I digress. Now, with this elevator that will take you into the station itself, you have to be patient with this because initially I thought this elevator did not work. It turns out that this elevator is just a very, 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 very long ride from this pad to the actual station. And so I'm just sitting here spamming the button, nothing's happening, and then and it actually opened right there, and I didn't notice it at the time that I was recording this, but it takes a long time. So I'm just here looking for another state or another pad or something. And I decide I'm going to just take a look inside and see if there's actually enemies inside. And there are. I see them moving around. But there's a very specific mask that I see, or a helmet I see on one of the people. It's a calico mask, but it's a new one that I absolutely fell in love with when I saw it. And we'll kind of see it here, hopefully. I don't know. It reminds me of the Joker, like one of the Joker faces from any of the Batman movies. And at the time of recording, I didn't know that the elevator was actually working, so I tried it again. It worked, and we go into the station. As soon as you get into the station, here's the thing: we are in armistice zone. So in this elevator, you're in armistice. You can't pull out any weapons or guns or anything, which I thought was interesting. And I didn't actually check to see if once you're on the pad if you're in armistice, but I would advise caution. As soon as you get into the station, that armistice goes away. You can pull out your weapon. And this station looks much, much junkier than the people service station, but there are plenty of loot boxes for you to look into. I didn't find really anything interesting, but we did progress further into the station here. Now, I am in PTU, and the server FPS is doing really, really well right now, obviously, because there's not a lot of people on PTU, but things are doing quite well. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find the guy that has my freaking helmet yet. So initially, I think it's this arrow helmet Quicksilver, but I was quickly proven wrong, and I found this guy right here with a Calico helmet Arid, and I go ahead and throw that one on, and this is the one. Look at this bad boy right here. I love this thing. This looks great. So again, this is the Calico Helmet Arid, and it's a little bit darker than the other Calico helmets, but very, very cool. I like it. It's probably going to be my main helmet for a little while. So we have the server rooms on the right here and cargo on the left. We're just going to eliminate any enemies we have left here. As you get into the server area, and it's going to be as soon as I progress further into here and actually enter this room.
I'll keep them occupied. Cutters, blow lively.
These guys are cracked when the server FPS is super high, by the way. So the server rooms are right here. There is a glass window right there, so you can't necessarily shoot through it. But this door opens, no key card required, and you just eliminate the enemy in here. You're going to have to grab a data card, which is on the table right behind this guy that I'm looking at. And he has strata armor on. Is that different? No, just default strata armor. Okay, we'll move on. So the key card is right here, or the data card is right here. You're going to have to do a similar thing to other missions and put it into the computer.
I'll keep them occupied.
Get the data input on the card.
Where the hell are they?
Now, this is the part that kind of bugged out, but not necessarily. It was just mission language that bugged out. So the key card itself just said placeholder, and then the mission never actually updated. But well, in the contract log, it never updated. It does say take the card to Levski. And before we do that, we're going to check out the cargo area. There was an external freight elevator outside with the pad, so I wanted to see if there was anything inside that would help us. And unfortunately, there was no elevator inside with any real gear. So the cargo center was a bust in this particular section. Now, as I was leaving, I looted this particular weapon rack and saw that this was the Bullpup Blacklist rifle, which is a new weapon in Star Citizen. Now, after further discussion with my org and everything and data mining, research, whatever the case may be, the Bullpup is, in its current state, exactly the same stats as the P4 AR. So there's nothing new to the Bullpup stat-wise. It's just a new look. So don't be too excited about it. Hopefully CIG changes this, but the Bullpup is a pretty nice looking weapon. So that's going to be it for what I've gone through with the Recco Battaglia missions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I am Saxawine with SC Haulers, and we will see you at the next haul. Love you. Bye.